Hello and welcome to Reykjavik, Iceland's beautiful and very expensive capital. We are here for just one day and we have asked ChatGPT to control it for us completely with a budget of 100 British pounds. Is it possible? We're about to find out. First thing on the agenda today is a coffee and pastry at Broad & Co. So definitely a lot more of a bakery place than it is a coffee place, even though they are selling their own beans, but it's just filter coffee only, which is decent.
I got the cinnamon roll, which was recommended.
And they didn't have any croissants left, so I ended up with a Danish pastry. Really thick and doughy, but definitely got that layer of Danish in between, which is really good. Oh yeah, yours is warm, mine isn't. Sometimes cinnamon buns can be a little bit like hard, can't they? But that's just like proper soft, but still thick. On to the next thing. So an unmistakable landmark here in Reykjavik is the church. Not going to try and pronounce it, but here's the name. By cathedral standards, this is very new. It was only built in 1986. It kind of looks like an upside down icicle, if I'm allowed to say that. This icicle is 73 meters tall, and you can actually climb all the way to the top. So let's go. 2 tower tickets, please. Don't even have to climb. You can get a lift all the way to the top. Love it. And the tower goes up to floor 8. Actually, when you get to floor 8, there is steps. Not sure how many of them.
Oh, you know, it would be sick if you could see the northern lights from here. That would be cool.
It's a windy day. I mean, not a windy day. I mean, it is a windy day. It's a cloudy day.
But you know what?
There'll be northern lights tonight, guys.
No,
however,
don't say that. Don't jinx it.
Have you seen our Northern Iceland vlog? Perfect view of the domestic airport runway from up here as well. 2 airports in Reykjavik, 1 international, which obviously we're using, and the domestic one, which we could have used to go up north, but actually we decided to drive it instead. I'm very glad we did, because that's where we saw some of the best northern lights. Okay, so next on the agenda, thanks to ChatGPT, is lunch at Cafe Loki. Right across from the church, convenient and authentic. They want us to try lamb soup, rye bread with smoked trout, and then for the adventurous, fermented shark. Now, I've heard a lot of people talking about this fermented shark. Some say they love it, some say they hate it, and most conveniently, the church is behind me. And where we'll be having this is in that yellow building, right there at Cafe Loki. Let's try it out. We've just ordered everything that ChatGPT has told us to. Really excited to try this out. And who knew that the fermented shark comes with a local shop? I don't know what this shop is, what alcohol it is. But yeah, interesting way to start the afternoon. Interesting. It doesn't really smell like food. Yeah, like a cleaning product. I should be scrubbing my floors with this. That is a weird texture. It's alright, you know. Ooh. Then the taste comes. Strong shot. That is not too bad though. I actually quite like it. I'm going to finish it, no problem. Sorry, if you had it, you'd understand. It's just fish.
Hell no.
So we've also ordered smoked trout on rye bread, which also comes with cottage cheese, and then lamb soup as well. So I'm just using ChatGPT to find out a little bit more about this fermented shark. So it's a traditional Icelandic dish that is actually poisonous when it's fresh. So it has to be fermented before you can eat it, obviously. And the meat is prepared by fermenting it for months, don't know how many, and then drying it for several more, which reduces its toxicity and creates a pungent, ammonia-rich smell and strong taste. And I can confirm it does have a strong taste. It does even say here in the AI overview that it's often served in small cubes with a shot of Brennivin schnapps. Never heard of Brennivin before, but that's the shot that I've just had with it. Cafe Loki, very, very good. However, ChatGPT, you liar, it doesn't cost 5,500 ISK. It was 10,090 or something like that.
10,050.
10,050. So for the meat soup, the shark, and the smoked trout on rye bread, £60. The soup was about 25 quid. Our budget's gone. End of the video. No, I'm joking. We've got to carry on. We've got to carry on. So next is the waterfront walk to the Harpa concert hall and Sun Voyager. It says head downhill through the city centre to the sea, which is a 15 to 20 minute walk. Stop at the Harpa concert hall and enter for free to admire the glass structure, and continue along the waterfront to the Sun Voyager, the Viking ship sculpture. Perfect for photos and free air, and it costs nothing. Let's go. Entering for free to admire the glass structure. Okay. So the first thing that we see when we walk in is the Volcano Express, which I think is an exhibition, and maybe the bit that was meant to be free actually has a private event on right now. I'm gonna go check the other floors just in case though. Not sure if we're meant to be here, but no one stopped us.
It's a pretty building. I think it looks nicer inside than it does outside.
This is a nice corner overlooking the water and the mountains. Alright guys, just about a 10-minute walk from the Harpa concert hall is the Sun Voyager.
Where's my hot dog, bruv? So we're actually making an adjustment to this schedule. Instead of another coffee, we're gonna go get a hot dog. Oh yeah.
Why does everything that you find on TikTok always have a queue?
Can we have 2 hot dogs, please? Do with everything? Yes, please.
Let's see what the hype's all about. It's worth saying we've had a few hot dogs in our time in Iceland so far, but none have been as popular as this one. So let's see if TikTok knows what it's talking about. Cheers. What are you saying?
I like that it has crispy onions and fresh onions.
My thoughts are, it's a good hot dog. I agree. Good mix of textures with the onions and then the sauce and then the sausage, obviously. But there's a lot of places in Iceland that do hot dogs exactly like this. You don't need to come rushing to this spot to get this one, but it is good. If you're nearby, definitely worth getting, but don't stress out if you can't get to this specific part of town or even the country.
I think also the reason why it's quite popular is because it is one of the most affordable things to eat here.
For sure. So for 2 of the everything hot dogs, it was 1,760 ISK or £10.63. So yeah, considering we just spent £25 on a bowl of soup, that's not bad. Do you want to know what that brings our total spend to so far? It's nearly 4 p.m. Had breakfast, lunch, a hot dog, and we've been up to the church tower. Total spend?
£96.
Nope.
Lower or higher?
Higher.
112.
In the middle. 100. Oh, I just lost it. I think it was 105.76.
Oh, they just didn't get 21. That's so sad.
We've noticed a lot of these Best of Reykjavik stickers in not just restaurants but also shops and things like that along the way as well. Best burger at Lickhock apparently. We've now come down to Old Harbour, which is a short walk from the hot dog stand. To give you more detail about this area, it's one of Reykjavik's most vibrant and atmospheric spots, especially for late afternoon or early evening. It's full of colourful boats, cosy cafes, street art, boutiques and ocean views. A perfect place to wander, grab food or catch a glimpse of Mount Escher from across the bay. Just seems like there's a lot of tour companies down here, down by the harbour. Let's try down here instead. There's a few restaurants.
I think we should go get a nice dessert, like a donut and a drink. It said
Get an ice cream later. Go
or
on.
a drink.
Yeah, it did say get a drink, but we got a hot dog. You know what, I've just realised that this budget was completely unrealistic. Reykjavik Rost, just checking on Google, 4.6 stars. We sat in the window overlooking the harbour and had amazing food and coffee. Had possibly the nicest hot chocolate I've ever had in my entire life.
Sold.
Okay.
So if you didn't know, I'm lactose intolerant, so I asked for oat milk. But am I still going to eat the whipped cream on top? Yes.
Really good, but this budget is slowly and surely, no, actually it's already gone out of this window that's in front of us right now. £18.66 for 2 hot chocolates. I'm not going to say it's worth it, but it is really good. One more thing on our Reykjavik agenda before we call it a day and head back to our hotel, which is actually out of the city centre, and that is to get dinner at Icelandic street food, which I've heard a lot of good things about, for their unlimited soup and free waffles. Yeah, not your usual street food. Heard good things, so I'm excited to try this one out. On the menu was shellfish, traditional lamb and spicy tomato soup, and yes, it really is unlimited. Beat 19 bowls and you can make it to the top of their wall of fame. I went for the bread bowl, although it didn't survive past much to first serving. Unlimited self-serve waffles were a perfect way to finish, although we never quite worked out what the jam was, an unusual flavour, but really good. Alright guys, and that is our one day in Reykjavik complete. Done everything that was on the ChatGPT itinerary and a few more things like the hot dogs and the hot chocolates, which went down an absolute treat. Total cost, yeah, we weren't able to stick to the budget unfortunately. Total cost for the day has come to £161.26. So as we knew, definitely not a cheap place to travel to, but we spent the last 6 days in Iceland and absolutely loved it, and no doubt we will be back one day. So yeah, thank you for watching this one. Go check out our North Iceland video as well whilst you're here, and we will see you next time.